Привет everyone and welcome to today's games. I am Toby and I am joined by Imperium, and what you saw there was a CIS commercial for the stream, but don't worry, have no fear, we are indeed speaking English in here today, and yeah, I mean, whenever this day is done and dusted, 6 games to play as you saw just before, then we will see which of these teams will make their way into Contenders Phase 3.
Oh boy, 6 games indeed for our beautiful eyes. As you saw, powerful line, strong on top of the leaderboard, but the focus has to be on the teams down the bottom, the likes of PKD, Inside Games, eXtatus, even 4 Kings, who've had a bit of a disappointing stage 2 so far. Can they get those all-important golden points to make it into the top 10 that will move on through?
Also, we got to keep in mind that teams like SEEKORG and Futbolist, I mean, they were in PEL Contenders last phase, right? And, I mean, they could potentially, Inside Games as well, could potentially, well, be done and dusted for if they don't get things going here in Miramar today.
Of course, now, like, obviously, you know, as we are onto this Miramar map, first game of the day. eXtatus, yeah, they're in 9th place on 55 points, and PKD are in 10th place on 39, so they have a bit of a gap, but at this stage, 14 points is not really that much, because one chicken dinner, one strong kill point game, it's gonna climb you up on those tables.
For sure.
And yeah, so either way, every single team are gonna have to be super careful. So I think we're gonna have amongst some of these mid-table teams a bit more of a passive game in my eyes, and just a bit more calculated on getting to the late stages of these games.
Yeah, that's what the big question is going to be, right? Which approach are all these teams going to take? If you're down below, are you going to try and just stay alive and grind some placement points? Or are you maybe going to go a bit more aggressive and try and see if you can get some kills early on? What I'm looking at right now, other than the circle popping, of course, is a whole hell of a lot of players landing down in the area of the west side of Picado. You got PKD down there, you got SEEKORG looting pretty much in between one another. Then you have Inside Games inside of Picado itself, YMCA on the southern side, and I believe it was Enviik down in Chumacero, so a ton of players down there.
Yeah, and in stage 1, we did generally see 2 teams dropping Picado, which was Istanbul Wildcats and Team Elite, and they always seem to fight early on. So I'm kind of wondering, will these teams look to engage early on against each other, or will they just kind of respect each other a bit more, loot up where they want to, and only engage if there's an absolute guaranteed chance that they're going to get a frag on each other?
Always tricky. I mean, you have a team like Powerful, for example, to mention as well, right? They came out heavy hitting with their wins yesterday, but other than those two, I mean, they had a second place that Ghost Star snuck his way to, but they had 2 0-point games, and that's gonna ring a bell. I mean, sure, they might be going through now, somewhat guaranteedly, but you wanna finish off strong. Of course, you can't just get everything going on a rankle and then kind of fall apart on Miramar.
Yeah, because I mentioned it yesterday. They will want to put a bit of fear in the eyes of the teams that they'll be going up against in Contenders in Phase 3. They're going to want to ride high on that confidence and go into Phase 3 knowing that they ended on a strong note. They don't want to end on let's say, 0-point games or 2-point games. And they'll do their best within their control to get that done.
Especially considering their performance was, well, I mean, there's a reason they're here, right? They didn't get things going in Contenders Phase 1. So hopefully this can be the stepping stone to get that turned around coming into phase number 3. El Diablo approves, as we can see here. He is very convinced that they indeed will do good today. And of course, if you're a Powerful fan, or if you're a fan of any other team for that sake, do make sure to spam some love in the chat. We love to see it. The players love to see it. And I'm sure that your fellow fanboys, whoever you may be supporting, will be enjoying the love spam as well.
Oh, indeed. Inside Games, they are on 38 points in 11th place, so they can smell that top 10. They just know it's so close within their grasps. They've had a couple of consistent performances, but then they've had a few disappointments along the way, and hopefully Miramar will be a bit more fortunate for them.
Yeah. And also, we got to keep in mind that I don't know if it's much of a change, just so that you guys know that that it is indeed top 10 that will go through, not top 9. That which has been mentioned earlier. I know that there's going to be a statement as to why at some point, I'm assuming, but it's going to be top 10 that will make it through from here. So 6 teams will not make it in, the other 10 will. And now, well, I mean, PKD, they found themselves fishy, and seems like the SEEKORG player here is going to try and make a run off. And, well, I mean, at least up until now has success in doing so, but Inside Game spots him from afar.
Run, Forest, run! You can get out of there, Fisk. I know you have the power, but now 3D Max and MJ-Esports have also spotted each other out. So, like, we're less than 4 minutes in, and we're kind of already seeing these teams get a little bit close to each other, looking to pop a couple of shots off in each other's direction. And that's what I love about sometimes about these games and these players. At the end of the day, like, they're players that want to, like, frag out right in the heart of their minds, and they just want to get kills. They want to be the best at what they do. So when they do find a chance, like we see eXtatus are going to on the Futbolist, they're gonna go for it.
I'm just gonna turn up the volume a bit. I feel like the in-game sound was a little low. There we go. And yeah, I mean, football, it seems like Genso did manage to get away, and 3 guys in 1 vehicle. That's fortunate for eXtatus that they didn't have to go into confrontations with that. And Powerful, well, they found opponents. Ghost Star, he's gonna see GR Hawk drive down along the side here, but seems like he's not too interested in taking shots, and that could become his downfall. Enoch, though, as I say, that does get taken down, and he immediately spins around to look for more. But the huge potential gang has driven away, and that should be the first point guaranteed, indeed, for Powerful.
Yeah, and it was very good by Ghostar not to automatically just shoot up, right? Some of these teams would instinctively go, okay, the first sound of a vehicle, but he waited. He wanted to make sure that not all of them were super close to each other, that 2 were kind of driving away before he went for EHOT. It means that there was a higher chance they weren't going to turn around and look to frag out onto Ghostar in return. And it was a nice calculated move by him. As you said, first frag goes over to Powerful. And am I really surprised, considering they top the table when it comes to leads? You have Ghostar on 19 kills so far, with Marcelic in top spot on 24. It kind of makes sense.
It does, but we did talk about them not necessarily being the better Miramar team. So for them to get off to a good start with a little rotation kill there, of course, that's always what you want to get to get that rock rolling and get yourself some early game kills. We are looking at eXtatus as we speak. I know there's a lot of supporters out there, so we'll be happy to see them making their move on forward. They are running up towards Inside Games, though, and, well, I mean, Inside Games, they've kind of committed to that one building so far, but seeing the circle and where they are being sent already, this one could still go anywhere.
A little bit of a fun fact. Inside Games are one of 5 teams who've actually scored points in every single game so far in Stage 2. It might not be the highest points, but they have scored in every single game.
That is that's actually, I mean, even though, as you said, it might not be the highest points they've gotten, that's a pretty good thing to have. Not that it necessarily shows that big of a consistency. It's still, as we talk about, whenever you do have those horrible games going your way, as long as you rack up a point or 2, I mean, now that it's only 16 games, it might not make the biggest difference, but if you have 3 0-point games as opposed to 3, well, I mean, 1, 2, 3-point games, that's still gonna add up and make a difference in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it just helps with the motivation, the mentality of these players, of these teams. Well, either way, Double has gotten a knockdown and a frag onto Barlos. That's one player. SEEKORG now down. Gonna leave 3 of them alive. Forex and Fisk quite close to each other, looking for another kill on the side of eXtatus.
That's unfortunate for them to lose a player there. I'm not even sure that they know that Inside Games is over the top of them, but SEEKORG, they were spread out thin, trying to scout over on the other side, but there were just players everywhere. And look at the split that 3D Max has as well. They're going to be in it still. 4 Kings there as well have to group up, but Phantom, and I couldn't really tell the other one was, I think it might have been Nuki. They were kind of caught off. AK Skills, speaking of caught off, blown up he is, and down he goes.
Simply simple. They're lying in last place, so a few more points will definitely not hurt them, and they're going to look to follow it up. There is Muck in the distance. He has a bit of a mini 14 on his side. And he is kind of lying second in the damage dealing so far in stage 2. So he's not afraid to pop off those shots and get that damage done on your opponents. But eXtatus inside games holding that compound pretty well for now.
And they'll have to. They're sitting pretty well in the southern side, and they don't want to let anyone run them over. And even if they want to go more cinder, they don't want to let them take their spots. Svasford is doing everything he can to take down Wago, but he is not going to let him have it easy. He needs to land a few more of those ones in order to take him down. Now Noki is coming up as well, and as we talked about before, I mean, 3D Max were split kind of thinly, but seems like they have managed to find each other.
Yeah, we've seen that previously as we see 4X and Philo securing that kill onto one member of Enviik. We have seen it before with 3D Max where they'll kind of split and then they'll join together later on. They don't do it all the time, but I feel when they do it, they know when it's the right time. Now the fear is that they are kind of split in between MJ-Esports most notably, and of course 4Kings are close by. So if they can join together as a 4-man team coming into the next phase or so, that will definitely help secure a better position. But Double going up on top of the hill,
sneaking his way forward. Inside games have been active when it came to shooting at people at a distance, but I'm not sure that they're aware of the fact that they have two ninjas making their way up on towards their compound. You see Double is making his way in. Here's all the fire, but he can't see anyone just yet. Nade, is that what you want to go for right now? I'm not sure it is. Now he spotted one. I don't think Sampeak saw him in return here.
No, I think he's going to wait now to fit. Oh, okay, that's a great knockdown.
No idea.
From Double. Now we see the rest of the team joining very close to him behind. However, fellow knockdown does come down as Pixel gets it onto Double.
Yep, Double's going to go down. The only issue here is that Hockey and Reggie, they're nowhere near to help. So this essentially is a 2v4 push. The first knock on towards Sampeak was good, but after he went down and returned Double, there's just, I mean, you can't really push any further before you have your teammates there to help.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that Double did get knocked down because, I noticed that there was a bit of a follow-up from eXtatus, but not as a full squad, so it's going to hurt them for now as Pixel is gone behind this building, going to just reposition so he can try and hopefully get a better spot off on as grenades start flying into the compound.
Yeah, they are trying to disengage. Now they might be able to get the rest up on towards Double as well. As I say that though, Hockey does go down. Novak gets himself a knock with the nade in there. Nade's been used more than bullets right now as we see all these guys trying to scramble for attention.
Right now, Inside Games are holding their own pretty well due to those grenades that are coming out, and also they are repositioned quite effectively against eXtatus, making sure they have all angles covered. As we've seen also knockdowns coming out from Futbolist. They're looking to join in from a distance.
Multiple teams fighting, and the vast majority of them are fighting on the southern side. eXtatus, not a whole lot more they could do. They had the position to fight from, they had the move around, but they are gonna go out in 16th place, and I do not think they secured themselves a single point that game.
They didn't, as far as I know, just a couple of knockdowns and a bit of damage along the way. But Toby, look at this circle shift on this next phase. It's gone heavily northwards. Powerful are essentially in the middle of the circle. 4Kings are looking to join there. Enviik are also very close. And then we see also in the distance, I forget exactly who it was, but either way, in the northwest side, there was one of those teams just hogging that circle all for themselves.
Yeah, you can see Symbol will make their way on forward. Got the Mirados to drive up the terrain. Last crew, they're going to drive on forward as well. Try and see if they can scout themselves to a more centered spot there up by the crater field on the northwestern side. So of course want to be a little more center in these circles. Only issue is that it's pretty much as high as you can get and as low as you can go in these areas of the map. The difference in terrain here is so damn massive.
It is indeed. Securing a frag onto Ojala from MJ-Esports. You also saw Manny got knocked down. I don't know how that happened, to be honest. I didn't quite see it on the kill feed, but powerful Morpheus. He's taken a bit of damage from the grenade. Yeah,
forced to prone down. Can't really go anything over aggressive on this one. Ghost let's get the finish up on towards Manny, but Morpheus does get found with the nade. Higgy Phosphorate as well, trying to push on up and do some damage. Grishka is a little further away. It's not really in a position to help on it. Seems like Phosphorate wants to disengage on it, but Higgy wants to secure the kill before they have to run back down.
Same with Marcelic as well. However, 3D Max, I believe it's 3D Max from the other side of that mountain is looking to join in on the fun and get a bit of a stolen frag along the way if they can. But Grishka Power with that mini 14 has spot out Marcelic. However, he's got to be a little bit careful. Knocked down to 68 health on his side as he looks to just try and back off, but down to 43. Can he survive?
I don't think he has any idea where he's getting shot at from. He's just proning and hoping that somebody will look elsewhere. It's like, no. He was the one trying to push around and help his teammates, but now he's going to be the one who needs all the assistance. He can get Marcelic from a distance. That's a headshot on towards Mans.
Now Airwaves also in distance looking to frag out on the side of SEEKORG as Marcelic down to 32 health does manage to hide behind the hood, heal himself up as he will look to possibly spot out the side of Four Kings whenever they can. As SEEKORG is eliminated in 15th.
Yeah, they tried to rotate on through, but did not happen. Airwaves, they've been doing good at holding off people in those rotations, and they succeed in doing so once again. Wacko, that nade should be good. Nope, a little off. Giannis goes down, about 80 damage done towards him, but 3D Max in the end don't want to commit to the push on over. As I said before, whenever you silhouette on the hilltops, so many different teams can spot you, and they know this.
Exactly. You may have the high ground, but you also have the open ground, so to speak, where there's not that many kind of peaks or dips that you can really cover behind. And so many teams can kind of see you from the distance. But this next phase, it's still up north, but it's shifted to the east. So the likes of Airwaves, who are in creative field compounds, are going to have to move on over. Powerful still in there, last career still in there. But we see a noticeable amount of teams down in that southwest side or outside of it.
Giannis trying to get some shots on towards the inside game's rotation. Not going to be able to land the ones needed. Astriel, well, he knows that there are many up there, but I don't think he's ready for the fight. And now okay. Pixley is also by himself. Thank you. Back to Astriel we go. He's going to go down immediately. Good thing we didn't get to see that. Astriel is going to get flushed as well. I don't think he was expecting that many people to come out of one vehicle.
No, it wasn't indeed. So it's going to be a bit of a caught outcome now for PKDs. They lose another member. However, Airwaves, they're doing so well when it comes to these games. It's part of the reason why they're doing so well in the overall standings, but this game is just continuing. Their Giannis from PKD is trying to survive, but he gets taken out, and that's PKD eliminated.
Yeah, got completely overwhelmed by the inside games push forward. Pixelic was on the side. Had they had him down early, maybe the other guys wouldn't have pushed this way around, but there was just not a whole lot more they could do as far as making that push on over. So PKD gonna get eliminated, and now it's up to SEEKORG and YMCA on the backside of things. They're trying to be the next ones to hold them off.
Yeah, I don't think Pixel is going to be able to survive against that blue zone as he did get knocked down. YMCA are holding it in the distance, but now Simply Simple, Airwaves, they're going against each other as Simply Simple just holding off the entrance to that circle.
Yeah, the Eastern shifts are on, and well, I mean, that forces a lot of teams to make those moves. And as we can see here, terrain is not exactly easy to maneuver through. Hawk is all by himself now there and needs to get back up and reload. It's just 2 players on their feet, I believe. No, Magan is up and alive as well. Got the reset down there. Inside games, they will get found in the end, so they're going to go down and out. And Simply Simple still trying to hold this angle and hold off multiple teams coming their way.
Yeah, a good performance from them would really help them climb the table and get ever so closer to 10th place. But with both Enviik and Airwaves, you could see a bit of a joining of forces, you know, unapologetically to try and take out Simply Simple so they can get into the circle. However, there's no doubt that they'll look to turn their attention onto each other as Sadovnik does knock down Robin.
Airwaves, they want to make the push on forward, but it ain't gonna be easy. Nice nade though coming in from Hawk, getting the knock onto one and the finish up onto Robin as well. Important damage being done, but now he's all by himself. And sure, they got 5 points already as far as kills go, but this push is not gonna be easy. And he's not gonna have a fun time getting in here. In the meantime, on the backside of things, while we looked at these 2 guys, YMCA get themselves eliminated. Hawk now by himself, left, right, touch, up, down, left, right, up, down. Yep, made it safe.
Like one of those PlayStation controllers we saw back in the day, so to speak, just up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. But yeah, YMCA getting eliminated in 12th place. They have 4 chicken dinners so far in stage 2, so they are still looking pretty good. But yeah, getting eliminated so far down doesn't help.
Look at the concentration of teams on the Western Ridge line up there. I mean, you have Futbolist with all the room in the universe. Like, where the hell is everyone? And then you have 4 teams practically sitting on top of each other on one side of the hill. Grishka, he's going to go down. Liren finds the angle, gets the flush in there as well. Phosphorate found as well, and that's going to be 4 Kings out and eliminated. Hawk still alive, trying to make the push around, but he's not going to have an easy time. Gets spotted out and taken down as well.
And all the while, Simply Simple, they survived through it all. You saw you pointed out how many teams were there on that western side of the circle, and they've just kept themselves going strong. They've used what they've had to their advantage, and I think they're still going as a 4-man squad.
Indeed they are. They got to clean up that western side in order to make a push on, and you don't want to fight your way forward towards the circle before you've making sure that you have at least somewhat of a buffer zone around you. Whenever you take the fight forward, you need to get back, you need to get the meds up and all that stuff. And if there's teams lurking around you in the nearby vicinity, well, your aura is going to be precious. So eliminate them and then take the fight forward. Such a smart move for them to make.
It is. Now we do see Marcelo because he's not hutting on his own. If he in any way exits that hut, MilkyWay are going to take him out. So he's kind of on his own. Hopefully the next circle will still be on his side. However, MJ-Esports Mini, I think it's the only one that's left standing. He's going to look to be spotted by Kabor.
It's the first one down, secures a point for the team as well. It's going to be a 4-point game. We get a 5-point game no matter what, considering that we just made our way into placement. Point! Spots out one more, but Liren going to find him, and simply simple. After a pretty damn good start here, despite losing a player just there.
True, but I kind of feel like they knew that he was there, right? And I say this quite a bit, like, if you're going to go into a corner that you're pretty sure you know where an opponent is, go as a 2-man team. There's a higher chance you're not going to get fragged out, so a bit of a shame coming out, but this action is going on as 3D are looking for MilkyWay.
And they're finding them as well. Marcelik is sitting all by himself up here. He has Norkis and his teammate inside the shack, but not a whole lot they can do. Oh, it's not in the shack, it's there down by the vehicle. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. Go Star and Norki are down by the flipped vehicle, but Marcelik has found himself in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, he did get out of that hope, but he's managed to kind of push on behind that rock. It's going to be a matter of time before either Solar or Noki do spot him out. Maybe a grenade will go out there as 3D Max turning their attention on the Simply Simple, as Norcus may be looking to join in on the fun and help his team.
Back inside, get reloaded, get boosted up, and get ready for that fight. Just waiting to have an off-string. Spots him down the hill, gets the nade thrown straight in his face as well. Wants to get the flush and is able to do so too. Nork, in the meantime, trying to do anything he can to retaliate on his fallen teammate. Spots out one. Solo finished off.
Yeah, we did see MilkyWay steal that frag away from 3D Max somewhat a little bit, but now Simply Simple. The grenades are flying out to try and push them forward.
I mean, 3D Max is doing the exact same thing that Simple was essentially doing before. You have to clean your... I mean, don't want to say behind because that's gonna make it sound weird, but you have to make sure that no one's pushing from the other angle before you start taking those engagements in this end of the circle.
You know, technically you're not wrong though. They do technically have to clean their behind. But,
I guess they do have to clean their behind.
Last crew, they do secure a frag onto Liram from Simply Simple. It's like, how old are we? Are we like 12 years old?
I don't know.
Hey. Now MilkyWay, let's get back into it. Let's get taken out.
Oh, that's a shot straight to the face. Good job by Phantom. I gotta say, I mean, 3D Max, despite being pressured on multiple occasions, they seem to be able to find the calm in pretty much any hectic situation here. They land the shots they need to whenever it does get overly aggressive, and well, I mean, they're good at holding the ankles.
Yeah, like MilkyWay and Futbolist, they kind of went on towards the east-northeast side of the circle and helped them. So they've been fairly quiet. So now it's their moment, their kind of time to shine. While there's still 16 players alive, so to speak, while there's still a good chunk of frags possibly going to be able to secure it. MilkyWay, they have that bit of a high ground. They did get one member knocked down, but I think it was able to get revived up as Roxy to secure. So many frags and Powerful are eliminated.
Committing to the spray down all the way through. That's a good control and holding that recall, and such a good point right there. Great 3D spray coming in from Roy, and well, I mean, I will see if he can make the run here. That's the thing. She might have secured 2 points on the placement, but I'm not sure getting away from that rock.
No, Offstring, because he secured that knockdown onto member 3D Max, you do get eliminated now. Eventually, it does mean they can focus their attention onto Simply, who are doing their best to try and secure their place in the circle. Do they have any smoke grenades? I don't think he does.
Yeah.
The grenades are being thrown out from MilkyWay as the frag does come out now.
Rockstars get taken down, but what a great effort trying to stay put for as long as possible. Still one more player on the Simply team left alive. And they've secured themselves a top 5 placement. Also, Futbolist, I mean, we talked about them before. They were on the quiet sides of the circle. They have 4 guys up and alive still, and they're quite a bit down the leaderboard. So this could be a good turning point game for them as well.
Yeah, 100%. Every point is going to count. That's what they needed to do, right? They needed to play safe. They needed to just be very calculated in terms of their position. Yes, the circle has gone in their favor, but credit where credit is due. They just kept quiet, kept out of trouble. And now, as I said already, now is the time where they need to start fragging out. They need to try and climb and get as many points as a 4-man team. Hold on to this high ground position. Hold on to this rock as the circle is going to start closing in.
Again, so I started spotting people. 5 kills so far for Futbolist, so it's not because they've been utterly quiet. It's just that the majority of their engagements has been like this third-party or long-range fights where they didn't really have anything to lose in doing so. Again, so secures 1 more. That's going to be 6 kills for the team.
And there's still a sneaky player from Huge Potential. Zolters has kind of just kept on his own down the southeast side of the circle. Oh!
I think Genso knows where he is. Sharon's trying to stay alive for as long as he can, but that ain't going to be easy either. MilkyWay as well. Up in the top 4 here. Going to be a good game for them, potentially to rack up some more points coming into the final 5.
Yeah, they're in 7th place overall, but when you create that extra point gap difference against the teams below you, just help secure that position, secure your spot going into Contenders Phase 3. As we point out, it's going to be 10 teams after today's game. 16 games will be played in total as Huge Potential. They're doing their best. They're inside that shack. They're trying to dance around. The shots coming out from Futbolist, but no chance as another frag comes out for them, and that's going to be Huge Potential eliminated.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what we had yesterday with Huge Potential being too late on their pushes. I mean, they got themselves caught down there with the circle going away. It's unfortunate, of course, and it's hard to leave. There wasn't a whole lot more they could do. Shan spots out one. It's going to get the flush in as well. Offstring lose 1 teammate. Still 6 kills on the team, though. I got to give it to Simple. I mean, off of not having the best day yesterday, they are doing everything they can to stay alive here. For first, it was Rux, and now it's Shan.
I wonder if he'll just kind of die to blue zone to take that point away. I wonder if he'll play that strategy or if he'll look to try and run in.
What?
No way! No way!
That is a spin. Okay, it came over.
Wow.
What an end.
Wow. Hey, look. Simply Simple. Fantastic.
2nd place that game. That was that was pretty interesting. That's a nice replay. Oh, okay, we're flying around in all the different views at the same time, I guess. But nonetheless, that was a pretty damn interesting finish. All of a sudden, things went really quickly, and Simply Simple off of that and really impressive flick by Shan ends up getting himself a 2nd place.
But that's what can kind of happen, I suppose, in Miramar, especially that kind of mountain ending. There was nowhere for Simply Simple to kind of hide, even for MilkyWay. But so much credit for taking MilkyWay out and securing that 2nd spot, securing that frag, securing extra points that they so desperately need.
And this was an interesting one we saw in the beginning where eXtatus, well, they didn't get eliminated just then, but they would end up going out in 16th place. The push was a really good idea. Leave 2 guys behind, have 2 guys like sneak their way up and try and see if they can get something done. But then when you get 1 player knocked, it's as if they didn't have a plan B. They just came up. Full, like they were just expecting, okay, our element of surprise will be what wins us this fight, but they never had the whole, but what if we don't win the fight immediately, right? So all of a sudden they get stuck in a situation where one guy is close trying to get the reses up, the other guy needs to come up and help, and then they just got pinned from, well, it was Futbolist actually that helped out there in the beginning of the game too. So pretty interesting first game here.
it was an interesting first game. Nice to see teams like Futbolist and Simply Simple, and even even MilkyWay, who are, as I said, in 7th place, kind of look to really pick up their pace, pick up their game coming into the final games of this stage. And I still am a little bit disappointed that Simply Simple did lose one of their members in that situation. I kind of can't help but think, what if he hadn't have died? Would they potentially have gotten first? I know Futbolists have 4 players, but yeah, it just, situations like that, you can't help but think would have gone a little bit differently. But that is the placing standings from 16th to 9th after game 1.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. It's always easy to say for us that have the hindsight. But for them, it's all about getting ready and play the next game. 12 kills and a 2nd place for Simple Simple puts them up in 1st place overall. But for Futbolist as well, important game coming in there for them to make their way further up towards the top 10, which is indeed the cutoff board as to who'll make it through and who won't.
Yeah, I'm just really so impressed with both those teams, as you do see the head-to-head, and we look at the damage dealers for that game 1. Wago, Ostring, iZoom, and Zampeak holding the top 4, but nothing really standing out other than potentially Wago.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a one-man performance in that regard, but both Shen and Liron, I mean, really good performances overall, and they just had each their like individual solo moments of shining through there. Really, really good to see. But guys, as we run through the remaining of the few stats here, we'll take a short break, and Mr. Cormac and I will be back and ready with the next game in just a few. So do me a favor, stick around, and we'll see you just shortly.